Exposing the ancient secrets in your glass, did you know Egyptian pharaohs were sipping wine before the pyramids even existed? Imagine thousands of years ago, as the sun rose over the Nile, the world's first winemakers were already perfecting their craft. Wine wasn't just a drink, it was a symbol of power, luxury, and the divine. The story of wine in Egypt is as old as civilization itself, woven into the very fabric of their culture, their rituals, and their afterlife beliefs. Today we're about to uncork a story that's been sealed for 5 millennia. A tale of kings, chemistry, and the world's oldest party supplies. Let's uncork some jaw-dropping history. Picture a team of archaeologists, sweat on their brows, carefully brushing away centuries of sand and dust. Each layer they peel back is a step closer to a forgotten world. The anticipation is electric. What will they find next? Suddenly a glint of pottery emerges from the earth, and the team realizes they're on the verge of something extraordinary. This isn't just another artifact, it's a direct link to the lives, celebrations, and beliefs of people who lived 5,000 years ago. So, archaeologists digging in Abydos, Egypt, just found over 60 wine jars in the tomb of Pharaoh Jer. Yes, real wine jars, sealed tight since 3000 BCE. These jars, untouched for thousands of years, were discovered in a royal tomb that predates the most iconic monuments of Egypt. The tomb itself is a labyrinth of chambers, each one filled with treasures meant to accompany the king into the afterlife. But it's the wine jars that have captured the world's imagination because they offer a rare, tangible taste of the past that's older than the pyramids of Giza. To put it in perspective, when these wine jars were sealed, the Great Pyramid hadn't even been dreamed up yet. The world was a very different place. No Rome, no Greece, no Stonehenge. Yet here in Egypt, people were already mastering the art of winemaking, leaving behind clues that would baffle and amaze us millennia later. Picture this: King Jer, after ruling Egypt, gets buried with enough wine to keep the afterlife party going. In ancient Egyptian belief, the afterlife was a continuation of earthly pleasures, and wine was essential for both celebration and ritual. The king's tomb was stocked not just with food and treasures, but with the finest wine, carefully sealed to ensure it would last for eternity. Imagine the reverence and care that went into preparing these offerings, each jar a promise of joy and abundance in the world beyond. But wait, how do we know it's actually wine and not ancient pickle juice? The jars were sealed so tightly that their contents remained a mystery for thousands of years. When scientists finally opened them, they were met with a pungent, earthy aroma, a scent that hadn't escaped since the days of the pharaohs. But to be sure, they needed more than just their noses. They turned to modern science, determined to unlock the secrets hidden in these ancient vessels. Scientists ran chemical tests and found tartaric acid, which is basically the fingerprint of grape wine. This acid is a telltale sign found in grapes and nowhere else in the ancient Egyptian diet. The discovery was groundbreaking. It confirmed that these jars once held real wine, not just any fermented beverage. The analysis didn't stop there. Researchers also looked for other compounds, piecing together the recipe for a drink that had been lost to time. Some jars even had traces of herbs and resins. Think of it as the OG mulled wine recipe. Ancient Egyptians didn't just drink plain wine, they infused it with flavors and medicinal ingredients, creating complex blends that were both delicious and symbolic. These additives might have included pine resin, coriander, or even frankincense, turning each jar into a unique elixir. Why does this matter? Because it shows that the Egyptians were not only skilled winemakers, but also early experimenters in flavor and preservation. It's more than just old booze. These jars reveal how Egyptians celebrated, traded, and even practiced religion. Wine was at the heart of their social life, served at banquets, offered to the gods, and exchanged as a luxury good. The murals and artifacts found alongside the jars paint a vivid picture of a society that valued joy, community, and spiritual connection. Every sip was a toast to life, a bridge between the mortal and the divine. Wine was a big deal, called the blood of the grape, and used in royal rituals. It was believed to have magical properties, capable of pleasing the gods and ensuring a good harvest. Pharaohs and priests used wine in ceremonies that marked the most important moments of life and death. The act of pouring wine was both a celebration and a sacred duty, a way to honor ancestors and seek favor from the divine. Now, could you drink it? The idea is tempting. Imagine tasting the same wine as a pharaoh, but the reality is a little less appetizing. After thousands of years, the wine has transformed into a thick resinous sludge, more science experiment than happy hour treat. Still, the thought of sharing a drink with history is enough to make any wine lover's heart skip a beat. Sorry, unless you want ancient stomach problems, best to just admire it. The wine's chemical composition has changed so much that it's no longer safe to drink. Museums and scientists take great care to preserve these jars, ensuring that their secrets remain intact for future generations. So while you can't raise a glass of 5000-year-old wine, you can still marvel at the ingenuity and artistry of the people who made it. But this find proves the Egyptians were master winemakers and party planners way before anyone else. Their techniques laid the foundation for winemaking traditions that would spread across the Mediterranean and beyond. From the vineyards along the Nile to the grand feasts of the pharaohs, wine was a thread that connected people, places, and eras. The discovery of these jars is a reminder that history is alive, waiting to be rediscovered in the most unexpected places. Hit like if you wish you could try a sip, and subscribe for more tasty history. The story of Egypt's ancient wine jars is just one example of how the past continues to surprise and inspire us. Who knows what other secrets are waiting to be unearthed? Until next time, keep your curiosity uncorked and your glass raised to the wonders of history.